The New York Jets play the Dallas Cowboys. What can we do to get a win? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and yeah, I'm in a robe. I'm not feeling well. I'm still sick, and it got worse. But I wanted to make this video, so I'm sorry if I sound super, congested. It's because I am, and if I mute to cough, I'm sorry. I'm going to make sure that I don't cough in your guys' ears. But I did want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys because that's the next game for the New York Jets, and there are a lot of things that the New York Jets can do to try and walk away with a win. We all got to witness what the Dallas Cowboys were able to do to the New York Giants, but I think that the New York Jets match up against the Dallas Cowboys much better than the New York Giants do. And while I'm not saying that this is going to be an easy win, no game is going to be an easy win this year, now that we've lost Aaron Rodgers. If we're being honest, there are some things that the New York Jets do that the Dallas Cowboys struggle with at every level, from the offense to the defense and to the special teams. And we'll get into all of that in today's video. So let's start with, how does our offense match up against that Dallas Cowboys defense? Well, the biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys defense is, what are you going to do about Micah Parsons, and what are you going to do about Dexter Lawrence? They are one of the best edge rusher duos in the NFL, and that defense as a whole in Dallas is in the same breath, top 5, top 4 defense. They're in the same breath as the New York Jets, the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're just stacked. That's the reality. Defensive line, really good. They got 2 really good corners, and then they've got solid linebackers and safeties. But here's the thing, statistically speaking, they match up and they play very similar to how the Jets do. And where do the Jets struggle? Well, at least where did they struggle last year? In the run game. And that's exactly where the Dallas Cowboys struggle. Last year, I believe they ranked 22nd in run-stopping efficiency, and they just weren't good at it. They were incredible at stopping you through the air, and that was partly because they have 2 really good corners and a defensive line that just can't be stopped. But because that they just tell Micah Parsons and Dexter Lawrence, go and hit the quarterback as hard as you can on almost every single snap, it does leave the middle of the field open for the run game. Their linebackers, who are solid players, struggle in coverage and struggle in the run game, and that's where the New York Jets can shine. We have an inherent mismatch created in how the New York Jets can play against the Dallas Cowboys. The moment we lost Aaron Rodgers, we knew that an air raid type of offense goes out the window. As of right now, we can't trust Zach to win games with his arm. He just isn't secure with the football enough. Now, can that change over time with Aaron Rodgers in his year after he comes back from his surgery and is fully recovered? Nathaniel Hackett's finally a teacher. Who knows? But let's put the kid in the best position to win football games. Now, what do the New York Jets have that no other team in the NFL have? That's Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. We have the best running back duo in the NFL, and we have one of the better overall tight end rooms. Now, while none of our guys are top echelon elite tight ends, we're 3 deep at tight end legitimately. All 3 of our tight ends would be tight end 1s on a lot of football teams in the NFL, and that's where we shine. Take advantage of the mismatch. Try to keep their third corner, Bland, I believe is his name. He's excellent as a slot corner. Keep him off the field. Force them to play with 3 linebackers on the field, and force them to cover running backs and tight ends with those linebackers in the passing game, because it's an inherent mismatch. But I think the key is run the frickin' football. Breece Hall is back, and he is just as good as he was before. Dalvin Cook is elusive in the backfield. There's just a lot of really good things that we can do to capitalize on the fact that the Dallas Cowboys statistically struggle against the run and struggle covering tight ends and running backs with linebackers, and that's the game plan. Now, you got to get Garrett Wilson involved. I got to get Allen Lazard. You have to have a balanced attack, or they're just going to stack 8 guys in the box. But there are ways for us to exploit that and to do and create mismatches. Let's not forget that Trevon White Trevon White? White for the Buffalo Bills. I forget his first name because I'm just deliriously tired and sick. Is an all-pro and Pro Bowl caliber cornerback, right? So, and Garrett Wilson was able to win against him. So Garrett Wilson should be able to do very similar things against Stephon Gilmore and Trevon Diggs and all of that going on that side of the ball with Dallas. So there is a game plan for us to get points. Just get into Greg the Leg's zone, because the game is going to be won off of the leg of the kickers, not the who's going to score the most touchdowns. And I'm not just talking about that for the Jets, because now we're going to talk about how can the New York Jets defense absolutely dominate the Dallas Cowboys offense. Well, where do the Dallas Cowboys struggle right now? It's everywhere on offense. Let's just be real. That Dallas Cowboys offense right now doesn't really have a weapon that I'm all that scared of that we can't cover. CeeDee Lamb right now is the only wide receiver on that team, and our corners match up against their wide receivers much better. Brandon Cooks is slated to miss the New York Jets game. Michael Gallup is coming off of an injury and didn't really look all that great in week 1. Tony Pollard didn't have a really good game, and this is the big key to keep an eye on as we march and go towards Sunday, is that their star guard that they just paid a lot of money to in Zach Martin showed up on the injury report, and that is another injury to that offensive line that already is incredibly injured. So if you take that into effect, you take the fact that they don't have any superstar weapons on the offensive side of the ball that you're super scared of, and the fact that Dak Prescott is the definition of a mid quarterback, our defense stacks up really, really well against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, where can the Dallas Cowboys win? It's going to be a rehash of what I said. If they can get Ferguson, their tight end, mismatched against Quincy and CJ, Quincy looked much, much better in coverage against the Buffalo Bills, really stepping up his game, the definition of a late bloomer. But if you get CJ Mosley on Ferguson and Tony Pollard maybe just had a down game 1 kind of a situation, wasn't all that effective. If you get those mismatches and you're going to ask CJ Mosley to play in coverage, it's not going to go well for the New York Jets. So how can we make sure that we do that? 1, continue to dominate up the middle of the defensive line. That's definitely where the New York Jets are going to win in this defensive battle. Micah Parsons is arguably the best edge rusher in the NFL, but Quinnen Williams is arguably the best interior defensive lineman in the NFL. And when you add to the fact that we have 2 run-stopping dogs at the edge at JFM and JJ, it really does help in the ability to stop the run effectively. This game is going to be a dogfight, and it's going to be whoever's defense flinches first. And that's it. Whoever scores the single touchdown that I think is going to happen in that game is going to win the game, and that's it. The New York Jets need to continue to dominate on the defensive side of the ball and run the ball down Dallas's throat. That's where they're going to struggle. And if Micah Parsons can't get to Zach Wilson's, you essentially eliminate how he can impact the game in a positive way. That is much, much easier said than done. Like I said, Micah Parsons is one of my favorite players in the NFL that's not a New York Jet. He is so easy to root for. I wish he wasn't on the Dallas Cowboys so that I could really support him, but it is what it is. We're going to have a match. This game is probably going to be one of the better games of the year in terms of if you're a guy who really likes defensive football, and I am. I love defensive football, even though I'm an offensive guy. That being said, if I had to predict a score or an outcome, I'm going to give this win to the Dallas Cowboys. I think that there's a lot of things going on with the New York Jets that are going to be a little bit of a distraction in terms of, are we going to go get another quarterback? Zach Wilson is now in, and it's a new vibe, and Aaron Rodgers, and it's easy to see, and technically it's a short week for the New York Jets because we're missing a day of recovery and all of those things, but I think it's going to be a close game. My prediction is that it's going to be 12-9 Dallas Cowboys. And like I said, no touchdowns I'm being predicted in this game. 4 field goals to 3 field goals. That's it. It's really, really interesting, and I'm really excited for this game because I don't know what to expect. Dallas's defense is just as good as the New York Jets, but I think that the New York Jets offense is better built than the Dallas Cowboys. Can that overcome that dominant defense? Can Dak overcome our dominant defense? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Wish for a speedy recovery for me so that I can be back and healthy sooner rather than later. If you want to watch more Talking Jets with Tigo content, hit this video right here. If you haven't subscribed to the New York Jets best content, no, I'm kidding. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit this button right here. Thanks for watching. And last but not least, go Jets.